So let me just say a warm good morning to all of you. Today I am indeed pleased to announce the plans for National Women's Week 2016, which begins on Sunday, November 20th, and continues through to Saturday, November 26th. National Women's Week marks the 54th suffrage anniversary and commemorates an inspiring display of political strength, female solidarity, and inner fortitude that began with the enfranchisement of women in the Bahamas on that fateful day, November 26, 1962. While celebrating the many instances of progress women have attained in the Bahamas, National Women's Week reminds us that there is still work to be done for the advancement of women in this country. We recognize that the rights realized by women through voting equally with men was only the beginning of the journey towards a more equitable Bahamas. The theme for this year's National Women's Week celebration is, and I quote, "Promoting women as equal partners with men in national development," end of quote. This theme is timely given the culmination of the 2016 gender equality referendum, the impact of Hurricane Matthew, and most recently the transition of the University of the Bahamas to the University of the Bahamas. These events, though very different in nature, remind us of the importance of coming together, rebuilding, and forging ahead as one. The importance of the active engagement of every woman, man, boy, and girl cannot be underestimated as we collectively heal and grow this nation. This approach is consistent with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which emphasize the critical role of inclusion and partnerships in the development process. While these goals are framed in a global context, emphasizing relations between and among states, they also reflect the importance of stronger partnerships at the national level. A sense of shared responsibility is crucial to integrated socioeconomic development in the Bahamas. Given the need for an inclusive approach to development, the government of the Bahamas has established the Department of Gender and Family Affairs within the Ministry of Social Services and Community Development. This new department is tasked to coordinate, advocate, and inform policy for and on behalf of women and girls, men and boys, as well as the family unit. The Department of Gender and Family Affairs expands the scope of the work previously carried out by the Bureau of Women's Affairs. This expansion ensures a more comprehensive participatory approach to tackling social challenges while creating programs to address education, training, employment, and social justice for both women and men. Additionally, the department aims to strengthen the family as the fundamental nucleus of society. Strong families are built on sustained support systems, vibrant and healthy relationships, respectful community engagement and outreach, and solid spiritual grounding. When our families are strong, our communities are strong. When our communities are strong, the foundation of our nation is strong. The new department will be working to diligently promote these values. At the helm of the Department of Gender and Family Affairs is Ms. Gaynel Curry. Ms. Curry has served as the Gender and Women's Rights Advisor and Acting Chief of Global Issues for the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights in New York. Her career with the United Nations spans 18 years and includes frontline implementation of Security Council resolutions, as well as engagement in the development of international standards with the Commission on the Status of Women and the Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women. Additionally, she has served in several capacities promoting human rights, gender equality, and the elimination of violence against women in the UN office in Geneva, Afghanistan, South Sudan, and East Timor. We are happy to have Ms. Curry back home leading this new department. Let me turn now to the activities organized for this year's National Women's Week. On Sunday, November 20th, a church service will be held at 10 a.m. at Mount Tabor Church, Willow Tree Avenue in Pinewood Gardens. On Monday, November 21st, an interactive dialogue on the week's theme, Promoting Women as Equal Partners with Men in National Development, will be held from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the University of the Bahamas' Performing Arts Center. On Thursday, November 24th, the Zonta Club will host the Zonta Says No to Violence Against Women Forum at 10 a.m. in the University of the Bahamas' School of Nursing Auditorium, Grosvenor Close. And this event will be followed by an orange ribbon tying initiative on Bay Street, beginning at the Hilton Hotel. And on Saturday, November 26th, the department will host a National Women's Day March Fun Walk and celebration, which will begin at 8 a.m. at the University of the Bahamas, the field near the Portia Smith Building. This event will highlight the women's suffrage movement and celebrate future young women leaders. Finally, you should be aware of two things before I conclude. First, November 25th, the International Day to End Violence Against Women, falls during the week. And to bring awareness to this issue, the department has launched an Orange Your Office competition for which prizes will be awarded. If your ministry or organization would like to participate, and we encourage you to do so, please collect a flyer providing you with the necessary information before you leave this morning. In that connection, information about the t-shirts which are to be worn on Friday, November 25th in support of the End Violence Against Women campaign is available. And two, please note that throughout the week, an exhibition on the women's suffrage movement in the Bahamas will be displayed in Parliament Square. As this week is a celebration of women, I encourage you all to visit the exhibition. An invitation is invited and extended to the general public to support and participate in all of these events planned for National Women's Week 2016. So I want to thank all of you for coming. I take note of the various organizations that you've come from across the divide, and we really want to encourage all of these organizations to participate. And if this morning is any indication, we look forward to having a great week as we celebrate the women's suffrage movement and the enfranchisement of women in 1962, and certainly as we speak out against violence generally, but specifically against women in our country. Thank you all so much for coming.